Hi, my name is Yachi, and my research paper topic is public art. Um, um, my topic is to compare the Barcelona and the New York public art to and the environment and space influence the public art. My thesis statement is examine the difference and similarities between the public art between the New York and Barcelona, and I'm making the comparison to learn how environment and space influence public art, and those that interactive with it, and I want to. I'm doing this in order to help my readers to understand better, to appreciate, communicate with the public art and in their own neighborhoods. And this is my outline. First, I will to introduce what is the public art. Public art is the sort of a city and a form of the contemporary culture and a sign of the mentoring and develop of city. And I will write my thesis statement, and I will write the first body is to connotation and concept of the public art. I will to try to explain to one or two special examples to compare the difference between the two cities, public art history, and some public art is to memorize something, and some public art is to interactive with peoples. Those two different parts to talking about public art, and this body two is to try to explain the relationship between public art and urban public space and environment. I will compare two. I will use 3 examples to compare two cities' public space environment in public art, and the body 3 is to compare the value of the public art between the New York City and Barcelona. And I will write the conclusion at the end. This is my book, journal resource. This is all the article, and I will use it. And the book is the first book I will use the most is New York Public Art. In this book, they have a lot of artwork. I will use one or two. I choose one and two examples in this book. And this book is all talking about description of public art. But in this book, they have some interview. They have some artwork also, and I will choose one artwork in this book. And they have some interview for a lot of artists that how the space and the environment influence their artwork. So I will use there as a quotation. In this book, they have some critique about New York artwork. So I will use this as a quotation. This book has some example to explain the relationship between public art space and art, and they have a lot of opinions in this book. So I will use this book, but they don't have a lot of examples in New York and Barcelona. But I think I can find some inside meanings from this book. About Barcelona book, I just find some book from 1990s. They have a book named Space and the Sculpture in Barcelona, and they have a lot of description about the public art layout and how they design this public art. So I will use 3 examples in this book, and I just find some interview in Taiwan, but I just looking for some Barcelona artwork in some videos, and I will use it in my paper.
So, Angie, I think what's happening is there are actually like several different topics going on, and you should try to pick one. So you said in the beginning that you're interested in looking at environment and space and how it influences public art, but then you're also looking at projects in Barcelona and New York, and you're also looking at how sometimes public art commemorates history and sometimes it interacts with people. So you have all these really great ideas, but I think that any one of those things could be an entire paper. So like, just working on the definition of public art, commemorating history and interacting with people, that could really be a paper. Or studying space and environment and its effect on public art, like that could be a paper. So I think maybe what you're facing now is kind of figuring out where the sources are, like where the most sources are, and what kind of paper you want to write. Like, do you want to write an analysis of, a comparative analysis of public art in 2 places, or do you want to talk about the function of public art, or do you want to talk about the environment of public art? I think that if you try to do all of these, it might be really difficult.
But this part, I just want to use a little description.
So that's just a definition.
Yeah,
okay.
Definition about 41. I just want to explain the public art, just like what is public art and what's different between the some is have the memory and some is to improve our people's environment.
So maybe body 2 and body 3. Maybe body 2 could just be examples of New York public art, and body 3 could be Barcelona. And in both of them, you kind of talk about how they use environment or how they use space. Maybe one section is just New York and one section is Barcelona, and throughout you're talking about like what, how these works interact with their surroundings.
Body 1 is talking about New York, and body 2 is Barcelona, and the next part is to compare them.
I think that you could do it actually while you're going. So like, let's say you talk about, in this section, you talk about defining it, like you said, this one could just be Barcelona, and this could just be New York, but, and then maybe you add like one more section where you talk about comparison or something like that. Yeah, I think it'll be easier. I think that these 2 sections will get confusing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just separate the 2
Yeah,
parts.
separate the 2 parts. Yeah. It is so hard. Okay.